Yeah,
Oh yeah,
857,
that's right.
innovative hip hop. It's official.
Yeah, crazy.
We back.
Yeah, that's right. Yo,
Where's the beef? Don't want, don't start none. Where's the beef? Don't front, y'all want some. Where's the beef? Y'all start, I'ma finish till all y'all diminish. Yo, we fall from beginners. Where's the beef? Don't want, don't start none. Where's the beef? Don't front, y'all want some. Where's the beef? Y'all start, I'ma finish till all y'all diminish. Cause you're dealing with the winners. Take a stab at, grab at, take a jab at it. Fans back, Mr. Casmatic. From the attic to the basement, I say bent waist to the stage is my playpen. Where's the beef? Don't stare at me or glare at me. Naturally, I get a little pissed off. You actually thought I'd come at this soft? Nah, we come at this harder. Even though I'm spitting, got me preaching like your father. Ooh, haha.